Okay.
Okay.
And welcome back. Oh my God.
Oh, we're off to a great start.
All right, welcome back to Johnny Custom Block, Gun Fight Press. Our guest tonight is Cindy Clark from Minnesota Gun Lawyers. Okay. All right, we're going to be talking about braces and trusts. And on the ladies segment, we're going to be talking about the fabric clip holster. Okay. All right, be sure to like and share for a chance to win a military surplus case and a koozie. No koozie. All right, get the case from Military Case Surplus. All right, get your beverage of choice ready for our toast. All right. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, Johnny Custom Glock, because life is too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. You're going to follow him on Instagram and YouTube. I want to thank Pilgrim Ammunition for the best self-defense ammunition out there. Travi Mack Foundation, bringing music to the children at the University of Maryland Children's Hospital. How about Johnny Custom Glock? Da-da-da-da. All right.
There it
There
is.
we are. I guess I don't hesitate long enough between SRQ Live Studios at Mars Vision Productions and military. I did military cases. Why is that up there? Okay, Skies and Chaos. Oh boy, Mike, I missed you. Skies and Chaos for the awesome music. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, here's the toast. May your troubles be less and your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door. Cheers.
Cheers.
There we are.
Cheers.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
we're actually early-ish.
Oh, we are.
We are. Okay.
Wow.
So, what do we have to talk about? What's new?
What's new? Well, do you want to talk about trusts a little bit? Gun trusts? We'll talk a little bit about gun trusts.
Good.
So, just in case somebody might have bought a suppressor and may want to have a gun trust. So, a lot of people ask, well, why do I even need a gun trust? And the answer right now is you don't need one. I hate to say that. As a lawyer, we make money off these things, but realistically, I'm honest, and sometimes you don't need a gun trust. Right now, if you buy a suppressor, a short-barreled rifle, a machine gun, a hand grenade, short-barreled shotgun, whatever, you don't have to have a gun trust to buy these things at this point. We used to a few years ago.
Okay.
But now the laws have changed, and you can buy them as an individual. You no longer need your chief law enforcement officer to sign off on your forms. So they got rid of that. But what a gun trust does is when you buy an NFA weapon, and I don't even know which camera I'm looking at. I'm just going to look at that one because it's in front of me. So when you buy one of these NFA weapons, they're registered with the ATF in your individual name. Only one person's name can be on that weapon, and only one person can use that weapon. That's it, period. End of discussion. So you put a suppressor on your 45, leave it on a nightstand, and you're out of town one night. Wife hears somebody break into the house. She grabs your gun off the nightstand, shoots them in the head. You got a problem, and so does she, besides possibly a civil lawsuit. But anyway, because she just committed a felony by using your registered weapon. Her name is not on that suppressor. And you committed a felony because you left it out where she could get it. It's called constructive possession. And actually, it was actual possession when she touched it. So to avoid that, a lot of people create gun trusts so that they can put their wife on their gun trust so that if she does use it, it's okay. You can both use the weapons no matter where you are. Or let's say your spouse is into guns and she may want to take your short-barreled rifle out to the range without you. You're at work and she wants to go gallivanting. If you're both on your gun trust, you can do that. If you don't have a gun trust, or you have a gun trust and it's strictly in your name, people can only use that weapon when you are right there with them, okay? So anybody can use your gun or your suppressor or anything like that as long as you're right there. But to let somebody take it away, you've got to have a gun trust and they have to be on your gun trust, okay? So the other reason, it avoids probate. When you have something registered in your name, like a bank account, a house, or an NFA weapon, and you die, there's a legal process that has to go through for it to get from your name to your heirs or beneficiary's name. And that's called probate. It's nasty. It's ugly. We try to avoid it whenever possible. You can't do it with a suppressor except with a gun trust. Well, you could have a corporation too, but that's a whole other ball of worms that I'm just not even going to get into. But that's strictly for people that have businesses in the gun field. But anyway, otherwise, so now potentially your machine gun, your short-barreled rifles, your short-barreled shotguns, your hand grenades are all going to be listed on an inventory that goes in front of a judge at probate. Not many people like that idea. So a gun trust avoids that, avoids probate, avoids judges, avoids lawyers, avoids all of that. Legally. That's the key, legally. And they just go right to your heirs without probate. There's forms that have to be filled out and filed with the ATF. But as long as they were people that you named on your trust or your heirs under law, they won't have to pay the tax stamp. There won't be another $200 tax stamp fee when it goes to the people you named. Now, if your spouse inherits it and sells it to your best friend, well, he's going to pay the $200 tax stamp. He wasn't your heir. So that's why you would want a gun trust.
Okay, good to know. So now ATF, with our gun trust, ATF has a list of all of our weapons.
ATF has a list of all of your NFA weapons.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
So if things get really hairy, they can eventually come and take them. No?
Well, in theory, they're not supposed to. In other words, they're not supposed to share information with other government entities. But I don't know. How much do you trust your government? That's all I have to say. But the fact of the matter is they are registered with the ATF. And hopefully they don't share that information with other areas of government. That's all.
But there are more pros than there are cons in getting a trust. Much more.
There are definitely pros in getting a trust. So what usually happens is somebody calls me. This is what I get. I want to buy a suppressor, but the guy at the gun shop said I need a trust. So he suggested I call you. So I'll say, okay, well, I'm glad you're calling me. Let's see if you really need a gun trust. And then I talk to the person on the phone. So if this is a single guy, and I'm not being sexist, it's just mainly it's guys that call. So single guy, is not married, has no kids, doesn't really care what happens to that little sparrow suppressor when he dies, okay? I'm going to tell him, oh, and he wants it as quickly as possible. I'm going to say, dude, you don't have to have a gun trust, not for just this one particular item. You know, do you plan to buy other things? Do you plan to buy a machine gun? Do you plan to manufacture a short-barreled rifle or buy one? Do you plan to get more suppressors? They are like Cheetos. You can't have just one. But if you don't plan to, yeah, stamp collecting, yep. But if you don't plan to, if this is really the only suppressor you plan to have, it's just a little toy for you, you don't plan to leave it to anybody, you don't care if it's confiscated when you die, then don't spend the money on a gun trust. Pay your $200, put it in your own name. It'll just, if somebody really wants it, they'll pay a couple $1,000s for it to go through probate. And if not, it'll just be handed over to the cops or the ATF as contraband once you die. So
We can't see any comments. Is nobody commenting?
well, there's a couple.
I was going to say, yeah, hello, Louis. Hi, Pat. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll just keep talking.
Yeah, we'll keep, yeah, chit chat. All right. All right, so that's good. So, so what does a trust cost?
Typical lawyer answer, it depends.
Okay.
No, actually, the fact of the matter is there are a few lawyers that do gun trusts. There aren't a whole lot of them. And there aren't a whole lot that do true gun trusts. A lot of them just took a little 3-page trust that's very generic and put the word gun in it, and they call it a gun trust. My gun trusts are gun-oriented from page 1 until your execution page. They quote statute, they quote law, they have instructions for your successor trustees when you die of what to do. So they're much more comprehensive than some other ones. Mine vary from $300 for a very basic NFA gun trust that you can put 100 NFA weapons in. You only need one trust. That's another weird thing I've been seeing. There's a, what do they call it, like a single shot gun trust or one shot gun trust. It's the weirdest thing. A client actually mentioned it to me, where you buy a silencer online from one of these big silencer dealers, and you put in your cart a one-time gun trust that only holds that particular weapon. And you pay a minimal fee. But I'm like, why would you do that? So every time you buy a different weapon, you have a new gun trust. It makes no legal sense whatsoever. And it's going to be a nightmare when you die. So, because what are the chances you're going to keep copies of every single trust that you have a stamp in? And if you don't have the trust, you have contraband. So I don't know who dreamed this thing up, but avoid it, okay?
Get a good lawyer.
Yeah, but anyway, 300, my most expensive trusts run 1,200 plus, depending on what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, some people also have heirlooms that they want to pass down to their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, and those are what we call legacy trusts, and those ones are more complex, and do cost more. So.
Okay. All right. Good.
Oh yeah, and yes, some of our gun trusts you can also put your plain vanilla guns in. Again, avoids probate. I have a lot of clients. They call me up. They want a gun trust, and I say to them, "Oh, well, do you already have a will?" No. Do you have a power of attorney? No. Do you have anything? No, but I want a gun trust. Okay. So you can get a gun trust and put all your guns into it, which will avoid probate, and somebody can just distribute those guns as you desire. But anyway, so there's different ways you can do it.
Okay. So definitely make an appointment, go see you.
Yeah, at least give me a call.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do we have your phone number or your contact information?
Hopefully somebody does, but I'll give you my my phone number. I'm with Minnesota Elder Law. I am not the Minnesota gun lawyer. That's Jeff Young. We just kind of say ask the gun lawyers. Jeff and I do a lot of things together. But I am Minnesota Elder Law because I'm an estate planning attorney. I specialize in trusts. I just happen to love guns and the Second Amendment. My number is 941-444-5958. And Tim will probably answer the phone when you call, and we'll answer any questions you have for free.
That's awesome. Oh, we do have some people watching. Susie
Yes.
England. Hey, Susie.
Hey.
Kat's on. We already said hi to Pat and to Louis. All right, good deal. Okay, so I'll be calling you because I have a will, but I don't have a trust. So I need to have you look at my will, update it, get a trust, and get me straightened around.
Absolutely. Yeah, which leads me into, obviously, besides gun trusts, I do, family revocable living trusts. I do wills, powers of attorney, ladybird deeds.
What is that? Ladybird?
A
Ladybird Johnson?
That's, yes.
That's where it came from?
That's where it came from. Kind of a weird thing. I had a client call me up one day and ask me for one of those ladybug deeds. And I love that, ladybug. So I do ladybug deeds. So a ladybird deed is putting a beneficiary on your house.
Oh.
Okay, so a lot of people, again, when people call me, I don't say to myself, oh, everybody needs a trust, so I'm going to fit this person into a trust. No. When people call me, I ask them questions. I try to understand their situation, what's important to them, how much money they have. That's always important because some people honestly cannot afford a trust. They cost more than wills, but also the types of assets they have. A lot of people think that, oh, I don't have $1 million, I can't afford a trust, or I don't need a trust. That's not the thing. It's the types of assets you have and what you're trying to do with them. So some people, for whatever reason, don't need or want a trust, and we decide to do a will-based plan with a will, power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, living will, and a ladybird deed. Because maybe they only have one kid, or maybe two, and they just want to leave the house. That's their biggest asset. They want to make sure the house goes to their kids. A ladybird deed acts like you're putting beneficiaries on your house. It's like if you go to the bank and put a payable on death account, that type of account, it's like you're doing it on a deed. So anyway, yep, so I do those. I do a lot of them.
I'll be straightening that out. JB is on. Hi, Julie. Mark Schaefer. Hola, ¿qué tal? Jimmy Camp, saw you earlier. Hello. Okay. So, good information. Really good information. And I will definitely be calling you. So, what else is going on? Lynn Frasca, hello.
Well, Sig brace.
Braces.
Tim's over there.
Not
Sig
these.
brace.
Not the braces on your teeth.
Yeah, not the braces on your teeth. So, yeah, the Sig brace is definitely an issue, and we just call it the Sig brace, but that's the shorthand for it. It's got more legal names, but I think everybody knows by now that there's a controversy. First the ATF said the Sig brace, when you put a brace on, on a pistol, an AR pistols specifically, that it's not a short-barreled rifle. Well, then they said, well, maybe it is. And then they said, oh, no, maybe it's not. Oh, maybe it is. So we've been going back and forth on this for years and years and years. Well, now with the Biden administration, they've said, oh, we definitely think it is, and we're going to write a new rule. So there is a rule. We are in the comment period right now. Okay? This is the public comment period. If you have any interest in retaining some gun rights, I suggest you Google Federal Register gun brace. Just Google that. And you'll see the first thing that came up when I did it was the link to the Federal Register entry with the new proposed rule and how to enter your comments and all of that. Under law, they have to address every single comment made, okay? The comment period closes in September. I want to say September 8th. I could be wrong on the date, but it's in September. So there is still some time. But, definitely put your 2 cents worth in there.
Yep.
And what they want to do, basically, and I'm not going to go into all the legalese, but what they basically want to do is very similar to what we saw with the assault weapons in California and all those places where they had a list of things going, if it has this and this and this and this and this, or this and this, but not that type of thing, they're going to say, if it has this and this and this, it's a short-barreled rifle and it needs a tax stamp. All right? Now, that being said, their goal is to make most, if not every, pistol out there with a brace a short-barreled rifle. Okay, you know that. That's their goal. Now, the question is, what are they going to do with it? Are they going to ban them like they did bump stocks? Bump stocks had no grandfather. There was no chance to register them. It just was an immediate ban. Something that was legal when you bought it became illegal overnight. Are they going to do the same with these? Probably not. There's millions of these guns in the country. There's probably millions just in Florida. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that. But what will they do? The chances are good they're going to do what they did with machine guns. When people came back from Vietnam, they had a grace period where they said, okay, you have until this date to register your machine guns. And you didn't have to pay a tax, okay? They just wanted them registered. That's probably what they're going to do. I mean, we don't know. We have no idea. They could say, no, you got to register them and pay the $200. We don't know. But the chances are good. They'll probably have a period of time. We'll see how that goes. So that's where the SIG brace issue is right now.
Okay, good. All right, we have a few questions up there. Pablo says, happy First Tuesday. Question, if you have a trust for a suppressor and want to add another non-NFA items for probate avoidance, then decide to add more NFA items to it, do you have to submit the trust with assets listed in it to the ATF or just a new ATF?
Just the new NFA item.
Item.
Yeah, Pablo, no, it's all the ATF cares about are your NFA items. When we use the hybrid trust that you can have your NFA and NFA guns in, you have two schedules. You have what we call Schedule A, which is all your NFA stuff. And then you may have a Schedule B, which is your non-NFA stuff. Your Schedule B, in the trust I write, I mean, every lawyer writes their trust differently, but in the trust I write, the Schedule B is private. We don't send that to the ATF at all. Okay, that stays in your gun trust paperwork, but it does not go to the ATF. The only thing that goes to the ATF is the NFA items. And do you have to send a list of every NFA item you have? I get that question a lot. I recommend it. In my trust, I tell my clients to keep a running list of your NFA. Number one, it's good for your own bookkeeping. You've got a running list of all your NFA stuff and the date that you got the tax stamp. And of course, your tax stamps you keep in a very safe place, probably your gun safe. You put a copy with your gun trust, and a copy always stays with the NFA weapon. And you may want a picture up on Google Drive or someplace in case you have to access it when you're out and about. Anyway, but the short answer is technically all you have to give the ATF is the information for the one NFA item you are doing the paperwork for right that minute. But you're not hiding anything from them. They know all the ATF stuff you have, the NFA stuff. Boy, I'm having a real problem with the ATF and the NFA. Oh. I feel like Joe Biden tonight. Okay, AFT. But anyway, so the short answer is no, the ATF doesn't need to know anything about your plain vanilla guns. That's the short answer.
Good answer. Okay, JB, Julie has a question. Neighbor of mine had a drunken vacationer break into his house thinking it was where he was staying. Owner confronted intruder. Intruder ran. If owner had shot the intruder in his home, is owner in the wrong, where'd it go, since intruder wasn't threatening him or property?
Ooh, okay, so again, Jeff is more the criminal law thing, but this one is a pretty easy slam dunk. So here's the rule. In Florida, it is presumed that if somebody enters your home, especially at night, and we don't know whether it was at night, but in your home and somebody breaks into your home, there is a presumption under the law that they are there to harm you. That's part of our castle doctrine, okay? So there's a presumption. Now, if this was the middle of the day, your doors are open because you're in and out, and the kids are in and out, and the dogs are in and out, whatever, and somebody just accidentally walks into your house and you shoot them, you're going to have definitely a civil lawsuit. So it's funny because Jeff always says it. It depends on the circumstance. So, dog-faced pony soldiers.
Yeah, dog-faced pony soldier.
If a dog-faced pony soldier breaks into your house, shoot them.
Oh.
But anyway, so it's really depends on the circumstances. I hate to say that. Like I said, we do have the castle doctrine. There is a presumption if somebody breaks into your house uninvited, that they are there to harm you, and you have the right to defend yourself.
And JB says in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
So
middle of the
that's
night,
scarier,
yeah. I would, there is a presumption they're there to harm you. Even if they're not armed, that's not your responsibility to determine whether they're armed. Sadly, it happens. Dementia people
Yep.
and things like that, stoned people.
Yeah.
So it happens.
All right, Peyton Weber, what would it take for me to get a medicinal M1A1 Abrahams? I need it for my anxiety. Okay. All right, Peyton.
I guess that would be his emotional support tank. Emotional support tank.
Oh, gosh. We had a couple of others. Mark Schaefer, Florida Church Carry.
Oh,
That
yes.
just
That
passed,
was
right?
the other thing that I definitely want to touch on that. Governor DeSantis finally signed that. That had been sitting on his desk for a little while. So what that means is under our current concealed carry laws, if there was a school on a church property, you could not carry concealed on that church property, even if the school wasn't in session.
Okay.
Okay? And a lot of people thought that that was a mistake in the law. That's not what their intention was. So anyway, so now the law basically says that it's up to the church, which is where the choice should be. It's up to, if the church is on private property, it's up to the church to determine what they will allow on their private property. Okay? And the school part really doesn't come into play because it was really intended for government schools, not Sunday schools and things like that. So
Okay, good. Somebody had a question. Let's see, Lynn asked a question. What will it take for Florida to become a constitutional carry state?
wow, that's another good one. So interestingly, we were just saying before the show that we have to we may have to get rid of our nickname, the Gunshine State, because I think Texas is more of a gunshine state than Florida is right now. We've been having a real problem. We have a supermajority of Republicans in our legislature, and we cannot pass gun laws. Well, I don't know what the problem is. But anyway, constitutional carry has been shot down several times, but I just read today that Representative Sabatini is reintroducing his bill again in this next session. So he is reintroducing constitutional carry again in our legislature. But really, all you can do is talk to your representatives, send them emails, send them letters.
For those who may not know what that means, constitutional carry, could you just explain that briefly?
So right now in the state of Florida, to carry concealed, you have to have a permit. So you have to jump through government hoops to get government permission to carry a gun concealed or open. And we have limited open carry in Florida. Very limited open carry. when you have constitutional carry, there's kind of different flavors of it, and even constitutional carry states have different flavors. There are some, constitutional carry means you do not need government permission to carry a gun. That the Constitution is what gives you permission, okay? So the government cannot say you cannot carry a gun, the state government, okay? But even then, there are different flavors. Like some states are pure constitutional carry. You can carry open, you can carry concealed. That's pure constitutional carry. Other states say, well, you can carry concealed, but not open. Other states allow you to carry open, but not concealed. So they're a little bit all over the map. Personally, I like pure constitutional carry, and I know Mike and I disagree. And a lot of instructors do, and a lot of states' rights people do. I've had disagreements with people who believe in states' rights, that it's the state's right to determine certain things for their citizens. And in a way, they're right. From the start of our country, states controlled gun laws. The federal government didn't get into the gun law game until 1934. So there's a question as to whether, yes, you have to have personal responsibility of not being a jackass. Yes, I agree, Mike. But you can't legislate not being a jerk or a jackass.
Too bad.
Yeah. So there are arguments for and against. They're all good arguments, but I do believe, should we have to ask permission to defend ourselves with our weapon of choice? That's my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for some more comments, how about we do a drawing for the case, this little case right here. So if you'll pick a number and toss it at me. This little case right here. Okay. Let's see what's inside. Ah, I can open it. I have to muscle this thing open.
One eternity later.
Okay, no foam, but it's very cool. It's got some little interesting things on the side of it right here. I don't know what they are, but
They're cool.
you can buy some foam and put it in there. Very nice. Okay, what number did you get? All right. We have 41 for the case. 41. Whoop. Got myself tangled up here. What's that? Okay, very good. So for the ladies segment, you know, last week I talked about the flashbang holster, which hooks up to your bra. Okay. This week we have what's called the fabric clip. Okay, and I have a little picture of that if you want to put that up, the fabric clip. Okay, so a lot of people don't wear belts. They wear yoga pants or sweatpants or whatever, and this is good for those types of pants. And we have a video that, if you'll put that up, it shows a lady doing a nice review of the fabric clip.
All right, so let's take a look at the fabric clip, something new that's on the market when you don't wear a belt. Hey guys, it's Kelly here from Armed and Feminine, and today we're going to take a look at the fabric clip. It's very similar to an ulti clip, so if you're not somebody who likes to wear a belt, this might be something for you. It comes as a separate attachment, so you can go ahead and retrofit a holster that you already have, or you can buy it already attached to a holster, which is what I did from Southern Bullets. So I got this one for my Glock 26, and I did write a review for them. I think it's made well. And I said, I really wanted to love this, but I can't really love this, first and foremost. So, you know, I have a Glock 26, which is a double stack. So if I were to put this onto my jeans without a belt, you can see, you just sort of place it down. And if if you can zoom in, you just snap this outer piece right on to the inner. And it's fairly secure, you know. The unfortunate thing right away for me is that it's pushing forward, which is probably going to make me print. So my gun is unchambered for this. So when I go ahead and holster, what you can see is that it now protrudes even further, which of course I wouldn't wear this, I'd have a garment over it. But it's still probably going to give me a little bit of a printing problem. Now, if I go ahead and add a full magazine, some more weight to that, I'm going to push forward even further. Now, certainly I could put a belt over that and push it back in, but if I were going to wear a belt, I'd just use one with my regular clip onto my belt. So this is not working for me on jeans. But I will say, you know, it is fairly secure and it's going to stay there. The other thing that they say you can do with it is to go ahead and use it in a pocket. Now, I don't pocket carry any pistol, but if you had a smaller gun, you could go ahead and place that in your pocket and it's going to be fairly secure. You could put it inside a purse. You know, I'm not a fan of purse carry, but if you had an extra space somewhere in your purse, and of course that needs to be holstered as well, this could work there too. So anywhere that you could clip that onto, it's going to stay fairly secure so that you can easily have access to your gun and it will stay put wherever you have it. So depending on the gun, and once again, I think this is going to be made better for a single stack or a lighter gun that's not going to have that kind of weight that's going to push it out. So let's try a few garment changes and see how it works with some other things. Stand by. Well, got some sweatpants on. I got a droop. Big sag. However, if your sweatpants have a tie to them, what you'll notice that if we're going to tie them fairly tightly, we can pull that in and it makes it a whole lot more reasonable. So I probably have to pull that still a little bit tighter to bring it in. The other thing that you'll notice is that the clip on this is fairly long, so whatever top garment you are going to wear is going to need to really come down well over that, because if you do the reach factor and it pulls up, this is going to be exposed and it's kind of obvious right here. So let's go to another outfit. All right, so one of the claims is wear it with yoga pants. Got some standard yoga pants on here. Let's see how we do. Yep. Tamp it down. That's a no. There's a lot of bobble, it's a lot of wobble, and it's really not secure. And these are from Athleta. Jeez. One more. Alright, so now I just put on some regular gym shorts. Ignore the fact that I look like an Easter egg. But with a tie, and I have it on fairly tightly. Let's go ahead and clip. Snap. Now I'm going to pull up a little more material. Really, sometimes, depending on the seam here, you've got to squish it up all the way to the top of the material, pull it the whole way up. Alright, so a lot better. So, point would be that if you're wearing a garment that has a tie to it, if you're not wearing a belt, we're certainly seeing it pull in a little better. Garments without ties or really unstructured are going to have a lot of sag. Like I said, I have a heavy gun with this Glock 26 on here. I think this might be a better option for maybe a single stack gun, you know, maybe the 43 or a Shield, and because a lot of women really like this, and actually men are using it too. So fabric clip, I'm on the fence. With my heavy gun, not working out the best for me, but who knows, if you like it, try it. I'm Kelly from Armed and Feminine. Hit the subscribe button, and remember, it's your life, protect it.
Okay. Are we on?
We're losing the middle camera. Sit back down for a moment.
Okay. All right. Good.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Okay. Okay. So I have on the fabric clip on my pants right now, and it's actually hooked to my jeans, not to my belt, because on this ratchet belt, it is just too thick. So I had a hard time putting this on because my waistband right here is very, very long. So it took me about 5 minutes to wiggle it up and get it on there. But I finally got it on. And it's got my Glock 42 in it, which is the same gun that I put into my flashbang last week. But once I have this on, I can actually put my belt over top of it and cinch it down really tightly. And when I pull my shirt out, turn around a second, it doesn't print. So it's a pretty good gun for me for extra, if I want to carry the 42. Okay? All right. So that's it for the
Julie,
segment.
do you usually carry, what's that called, appendix carry?
Yes. I normally carry my 365 XL in appendix or my Glock 26 appendix.
See, I don't carry often, but when I do, I like it on my back.
I used to carry there when I was a bit younger, but I have a hard time
Reaching back there?
And you don't want to carry directly on your side because
No,
it sticks out.
It sticks out.
If
So it's
you
got
get
to be
it
just
back here,
right back there.
Yep. It conceals better back here, but I have a hard time getting it. So I carry here. What's that?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, yeah. But I still have a hard time. So appendix is faster for me, and I can conceal it just fine.
Gotcha.
All righty. So our winner of the case tonight is Jordan Spradley. Congratulations. Yay! Yay! All right, do we have any more questions for Cindy? We're about to wrap it up if we don't. Personal
If
responsibility.
Florida passes constitutional carry, will people still need a permit?
Oh.
Well, it depends. Again, it depends on how Representative Sabatini's bill is written. I don't remember what his first bill said. I honestly don't remember. And even if he wants pure constitutional carry, it may never get through legislature the way he wrote it. They could change things.
Yeah.
So the short answer is we don't know yet.
Okay.
What about sanctuary in the state?
Second Amendment sanctuary. Again, we can't even get constitutional carry. Took forever to get the church carry. So I don't know. I don't see it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're at 9:45. I don't see any more comments, so let's wrap it up. We'll see you next week. Mike and I are going to be traveling, so maybe we'll see you. If we do, it's going to be from Mike's mom's basement or from the bar his sister manages.
Because you're a high-speed motherfucker.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take us out.